Hey everyone, it's George. Here we are at Bear Creek. This is our 10th race out of the 11. I'll be quiet here for the start and then we'll do some comment.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So this is the regular night race at Bear Creek. Usually a fun one to ride. Usually lighter participation, so good chance to get some good points. My start, I was going to go out easy. I'd been off for a while. I was sick. I'll get into that a little bit more through the race here. Then I had trouble clipping in, so a little behind. Once again, one of the single speed riders, the only one riding single speed in class, rode with us. So one of the two I passed there was them. I had been off sick. I caught some respiratory thing. Hadn't ridden for like 3 or 4 weeks straight. Maybe had a week to get ready for this. Figured I'd just give it a try and see if my body was ready to snap back or not. And right around here on this hill, I could just tell that with my lungs and power in the legs, I just was not going to have it for the day. So I kind of just rode in more of a survival mode. So it's a pretty sad attempt as to what I expect out of myself, but it was the best I had for that day. Additionally, really humid day, and I have riding glasses I wear that are script. Without them, I can't really see that well. And in warm-up, they were fogging up pretty bad. Wasn't able to see real well, but I figured I'd give them a go. They were fogged pretty good. Was having difficulty seeing. Right there, I pulled my foot right out of the pedal. I thought the people behind me were right there. The single speed guy was. The next rider, I was just staying clear, but it ends up he was just walking. So I probably could have started. But at this point,
pulled my foot right out
I was pretty much, like I said, just kind of trying to get through because I was already very winded. And this is only the entry and the bottom of the climb. To pile on a little bit more challenges, I didn't test ride the bike with the light setup. I tried to adjust it a little bit for warm-up. Didn't have the handlebar light set to the optimal location. I think I wait until almost lap 3 to adjust it, and it helps a bit. But it's just really a comedy of errors, very difficult race. One where part of why this video is so late is I just couldn't bring myself to make it because I was quite disappointed with my performance. So we have Big Elk coming up this weekend. I'm actually recording this on Tuesday the 13th, and thinking of skipping it because I just am not sure that I can produce a result that I'll feel is representative of my ability. I'm going to try. I'm going to do a local race course here today, and if I can put out an effort that I feel is decent, then I'll probably be on to race. But as of now, I'm probably just going to bow out of the season, because if I'm just going to tool around and ride for fun, I can do that around my local trails and not have to pay $50 registration and do the drive and everything to do it. So, as I said there on the camera too, the pro girls were already coming up on us, so kind of lay up a little bit here and just to give them a chance to get around, because I didn't want to be pushing a little bit and where the pinch points are a little further up and hold them up. So here comes Serena.
Yep, go get it.
And other times at Bear Creek, when it starts right into the climb like this, I've had the pros catch me at the top of the hill. I think I've ever had them catch me this early on. So it was tough. I am sitting right now in, I believe, last place in our group, and just trying to find a pace that I can maintain to get through the 3 laps, because certainly the pace I wanted to go was just not there. So it was kind of a learning experience here and trying to get my eyesight good. With the glasses fogged, I couldn't really see much beyond like the very center of the beam, so that was slowing me down as well. Once typically in a night race like this, you can see a little beyond it just from the glow and stuff, and gives you a little bit more time to react. I think the combination of me having it down too far and the fogging glasses, I had very poor visibility. So been talking a while. I'm going to let this run for a bit, and I'll jump back in when there's comments to be made.
Yep. Yeah, good.
So there goes the third place women's pro. I think that's Heather. As you can see, like I was really dying on this hill. My max heart rate set at 179, and typically in races, you can stay pretty much around the 170 to 175 range pretty comfortably for a while. And here on this hill, where I should be working pretty hard, heart rate's only at 158, and I was really struggling to even do that. I just couldn't get my breath. So I think the bronchitis did a number on me, and maybe wasn't completely done yet because I just could not get the air that I needed to fuel me up that hill. I was looking at my notes, and in the 25 days prior to this race, I'd only been on the bike 7 times. So, and I think a few of those were just like I said earlier, like that week of the race, just trying to get ready quick. And this is an enjoyable race, but at this point on the race, I was struggling so much, I wasn't sure I was going to complete it. Not because I couldn't, I just didn't want to have to struggle through 3 laps. So I was really fighting the mental battle of just taking a DNF or finishing up. I've never DNF'd just from a effort standpoint, so the mental fight that I convinced myself to keep going as long as I could here. Didn't want to have to come off the bike at all unless it was mechanical related or something like that. From the standpoint of dabbing or having to get off from technical issues, I had several through the race, which typically at BearCreek I'll ride it clean. But I was really struggling to see good lines, both with the foggy glasses, maybe the casting shadows of the lights and stuff. But I got myself tied up a couple times and came off 3 or 4 times over the laps on pretty simple things where I just had a bad line. So it's a real mental battle to get through. But if nothing else, this video will give folks who haven't ridden the night race a good idea what the course is like. It's much shortened from the regular BearCreek race. I think a loop was just a little over 3 miles. So typically, if you're in good shape, you can go at it pretty hard per lap, and as long as you can handle that climb going hard, it's pretty easy to carry max effort for most of these laps because they are shorter. A few seconds ago there where I was coughing, I recall at the time I was worried that was going to be plaguing me for the rest of the race. I don't know if I just caught a weird area of pollen or something, but something gave a tickle in the throat there and coughed a little bit, and that, to my recollection, was the only issue I had with that through the race. Here, as you saw there, I went pretty wide, almost into the tape. That was pretty much par for the course for the night. Like I said, taking those bad lines and just not seeing my light set. I have outbound lights. They're Evo up front and the Hangover up top. Excellent lights. They're not really showing as best as they can. I think I had the bracket set a little higher so that I could get the number plate on well, and then I had the handlebar light facing down a bit more. And I think if I would have lowered the bracket more to be center of the stem and been able to have a little bit more of a direct light path, it would have shown a little bit better. So I believe that racer was the single speed guy that left with my age group. So starting to feel a little more comfortable. Like I've said other times, I don't display heart rate on the head unit there, but as you can see on the video, I'm creeping up towards 170 and maintaining. So starting to feel a little better, maybe settle in. Still not anywhere near what I can typically do, but was feeling good, and passing another rider just kind of gave you a boost that at least I was making some progress.
Oh, couldn't see the turn. Ah, shit. Well, ride safe, Jared.
So there's a rider from our class. He was struggling with glasses issues as well, and couldn't really pick up the turn well, and wasn't confident in what he was seeing. That was one of the trickiest things. I mean, you could kind of see, but you just didn't. I didn't have confidence in what I was seeing. I did chip a handlebar on like a tree at some point on this lap. I don't think it shows on the video, but and then right before coming into that downhill and tech section, I was reaching up at the glasses and trying to maybe clear them off or get a peek at what it looked like without them. I think down here at the bottom, going back into the tech section after the chicanes under the ski lift, I think I take them off. I'll have to see in my initial view. I don't think it's tough to catch it on camera when I take them off, but I do take them off, and we'll see if we get to that point. But downhill here, I was just kind of taking my time trying to find the line and hoping that the higher speed would kind of clear up the glasses a bit and see how things would go. One of the challenges at the night race too is the picture areas like this. They typically have some light set up so that the pictures come out better. They did pretty well this year. Some other years at the creek crossing, they would have some pretty big lights shining at you, and you couldn't really see the trail exit or where to go. Still a bit of a distraction this year, but it wasn't as bad. Sometimes, just being in the darkness like this, your eyes adjust and then you get some bright light and it's just hard to see. At least I didn't feel this year they were really blaring directly at us, so was a little better, but always a little bit of a challenge. You got to be ready for when you come up to the photo area to make sure that you're ready to potentially get blinded. Also just confirmed by looking at the photos from first place photo, and by that point at the first picture station there, my glasses were off. So I think when I was reaching up before the descent there, that's probably when I took them off. I seem to recall when I passed Jared up at the top there, and he was talking about his glasses being fogged, that I had already had mine off. So bonus for that is, I could certainly see much clearer and a little bit further out, but I have one nearsighted eye, one farsighted eye, and when I go from wearing the glasses to not, it does take me a little bit to adjust the eyesight. And part of the reason why I started wearing the glasses is I was having more difficulty at speed, especially with tech sections. It becomes very difficult for me to judge contour and just the danger of different rocks and obstacles kind of blurs and smooths everything over, and I get myself in trouble sometimes. So felt good that I could see without fog glasses, but at the same time didn't have a lot of confidence in what I was seeing just based on my natural eyesight. So at this point, I'm certainly in more of a survival mode, riding to stay safe and still try to keep decent pace as much as I could, but just had some limitations that nothing I could really do about it. If you're enjoying the content today, please take a chance, take a moment, give a like, write a comment, go ahead and subscribe. Try to get these videos moving and out in the search engine. Really have enjoyed making them this year. Hopefully continue on in the race season. We'll continue to send out some content like this, possibly some content on some training rides and stuff going forward. But thanks for your support. Coming around to the end of lap 1 here, just wanted to also take a moment talk about the American Porphyria Foundation, the sponsor that I ride for. Porphyria is a condition, very rare condition that can affect people's sensitivity to the sun. The type of porphyria I have does just that. Night race kind of reminds me of some things that the Porphyria Foundation has helped for kids. They do some night camps and stuff during the summer. One thing I always liked about the night races and night riding is it puts me a lot of ways on the same playing field as everybody else. The sun is not a factor, so I can enjoy it just like anybody else, right, as much as ever. And sometimes growing up as a kid, that's tough. So there are some things in place to help kids that can't be out adjust, have some fun like everybody else outside. Activities at night is one of the ways that they can do that. So if you do charitable giving, please keep them in mind. Check out the APF's website, American Porphyria Foundation. There's links on my YouTube channel and stuff, and you can get some information about it. Maybe learn some stuff about conditions and how some people struggle with sun and other issues related to porphyria. Thanks. So that lap 1 time, 25:45, fairly slow for me. I think last year I was turning in laps a little over 3 minutes faster, but it's glad to be out there. I was still kind of fighting the battle on whether or not I could finish 3, but I was going to go out kind of energized for this lap 2 to not have to be fighting with the foggy glasses. So I was hoping that I could turn out a faster lap, certainly maybe ride it a little bit cleaner. So came in with some positive vibes and looking forward to what I could do on lap 2.
Thank you.
Additionally, unlike other races where typically the Cat 1 guys are on the course by themselves, and then later Cat 2 and Cat 3 they started the Cat 2 racers right after our group ended. I think our group started at 9 o'clock and at 2-minute intervals. And they started the Cat 2 groups at 9:15. So coming around, I was somewhat expecting to see some groups still starting for Cat 2 possibly, but given how slow I did the lap, everyone was already gone, and here early in the lap already with a mistake, taking a bad line on that turn again. So wasn't sure, if I was going to start catching some Cat 2 folks or if they were going to start catching me. But
Go get it, go get it.
once again, there was this pro girl that I kind of jockeyed back and forth with. She was coming up, so I just waited, gave her the clean line rather than getting in her way. But yeah, I was curious to see where the Cat 2 folks would end up and how it would all work out here starting on lap 2. flat section here, I was able to come at it a little harder than I did first lap. First lap, I was already getting caught by the women's pro leader, kind of held back. Here, I kind of kept the speed up a little better. Typically, I'll hit the teens on this flat, so still, I just didn't quite have it. But yeah, I was feeling at least good at the effort that I was giving out at this point. I kind of leveled off. Wasn't feeling like I wasn't going to finish the race. Knew that there was a pace I could maintain, but I was finding any time on the climbs, especially, that I gave sustained effort or tried to put down any power, it's getting a nauseous feeling in my gut, which as a rider, that hasn't happened for years, since I was like pre-racing and pushing hard. It's just one of those things that once you hit a certain fitness level, you can kind of breathe your way through that. It doesn't really hit you that much unless you're really, really going hard. And here I was just given, pretty much a sustained effort, not even attacking the hills, and having some of that nausea feeling of just being too winded. So I was trying to do my best to keep that level effort. I end up coming up on the wheel of the girl who passed me near the bottom of the hill. Thought about surging to get around her, but given my vision issues without having the glasses, where I knew I was at in the standings, and the potential that maybe she was fighting to catch folks, I let her get a clean line and just kind of stayed behind it and rested um, up here coming on the next climb. Some poor vision and poor line got me off in the weeds there, and there was no way in my mind. I'm like, I'm not coming off the bike here again. So I really fought through that, had to duck under a tree branch, stayed on the bike, got back on the trail. But yeah, it was just one of those things that, like, the lack of vision I had was getting me in bad spots all night. And here a little bit later, I had to get off again. I would see something and try to make an adjustment to a better line, and it was just getting me in more trouble. And wanted to fight through. I think that's my third time off the bike, and I think I believe I ride the third lap clean. So it's a tough mental battle, beating myself up for making mistakes that I typically wouldn't, not having the energy or the cardio to ride the way I know I could. But when your vision's impacted in different ways, just from the night vision, which isn't as good as it has been for me over the years, and then not being able to wear my glasses, there was a lot of stuff going on, and I was just trying to put in best I could and stay upright and put some fight in, and it turned out to be an okay ride, but tough one to watch back, tough one to share out on Facebook for sure, on YouTube for sure. This turn here was a little bit of a challenge for me all night. I'm not sure why, but I ended up right on the edge of and in the grass, I think, on the next lap, and the trail kind of rolls off downhill to the right there. Almost got me in trouble a couple times, but it's right on the edge, about as close as you can be. Still have a good surface to ride on, so just made me nervous a couple times. Here I'm starting to catch some of the back of the pack of some of the slower areas in Cat 2, which was a nice positive to just have people that you would see on the horizon and give you somebody to chase and to pass. Right here on the negative side, it's probably one of the U19s or 19 to 25 leaders of the Cat 2s that passed me. So they came the whole way around, caught up. With them doing 2 laps, he's coming around on his second, I would think, since we're on our second. So my goal at this point was to try to get to that start-finish line before too many of the Cat 2s got around and caught me, and hopefully catch some of the back end of the Cat 2s of the slower groups as well to keep me focused on getting ahead. Again, if you're enjoying the content, please like, comment, subscribe, and any appreciation or any comments on how you can suggest we improve the videos other than me simply riding better. I appreciate it. I like to talk about them and everything, so hope you're enjoying it. So caught the female pro that we've been jockeying back and forth with here on the downhill. Downhill's fast. Certainly caught her pretty quick, but not a lot of safe places to pass on there. So I waited for the bottom here to really get around and let it go. Was feeling good about the lap, other than those couple mistakes I made on the uphill side. Health-wise, leg-wise, was feeling better. Certainly settled in. Did chip a tree a little bit higher up there in the tech section. That was one of the reasons why I went to the prescription glasses. In a lot of my training and casual rides, I was noticing I was chipping trees a lot more. Peripheral vision isn't what it used to be, so glasses certainly helped. So it was a little wake-up call to just make sure I stay within myself, ride what I'm seeing, and just try to get around safe each lap.
Thank you.
With my vision the way it was too, even simple obstacles like the rollers here, really quite challenging. I was really struggling gauging how much the downside of those things were, how steep, or how much I would have to um, ride it with pumping the arms and stuff. Just the shadows of the lights, you couldn't see over the crest, and then my vision itself just didn't have a lot of confidence. A couple of them really surprised me, where I was, it would drop off a lot more than I expected. Rollers are typically very easy, but at night and without my glasses, they became very challenging, and something a couple of times that I felt like I was a little out of control on them, rather than riding them smooth. So night race always makes for an interesting evening.
Thank you. Yep. Go ahead. Nope, go for it.
So passed one more back end Cat 2 guy, and then got passed by one of the fast groups in the Cat 2 group, coming here to the close of my second lap. So, good to be in the mix with some riders, kind of keeps you on your game. make sure that you can try to hit all your marks and keeps your effort level up. I was hoping that I could get through here without getting caught by any more of the front end of Cat 2. Once I cross the line at the end of my second lap, shouldn't be any possibility of any others passing me because they'd all be finishing behind me. So that was the goal here, and then just trying to reel in some other people within my category if possible. Afterwards, looking at the finishing times for everybody, I was well back and well off pace, which I kind of figured, but never know if other people in the class are having similar struggles that I had. So kind of held out some hope, pretty much through the idea of potentially DNFing, but just from the level of fitness I was at and how I was feeling on the bike, I knew that lap 3 was going to be a struggle for sure.
You went left? Good. You're just riding? Come on, man.
So they was trying to make room for a rider I thought was coming up on me. I think it was just a spectator that was coming. So, keep in mind if you're a spectator at these races, especially a night race, try not to pull in right behind a rider and come up on them because they're going to try to make room for you like I did there. Kind of knocked me off my pace a bit, but wasn't a big deal. I was kind of just riding to ride.
Thank you.
So on to lap 3, I was mostly with the goal of riding it clean. I had some issues getting off the bike each of the other laps. Wanted to turn in a fast lap 3. I was hoping for it to be my fastest lap, but most importantly, very frustrated with how I was riding the first 2. Wanted to ride it clean. So came through, knew that I wouldn't have to worry about much of anybody coming up behind except for maybe some of the people I was jockeying with from the women's pros and the single speed gentlemen. So just looking to get a good pace, ride it clean, finish strong, stay upright, keeping everything in mind, riding within myself with the vision and everything else that I had going on. But happy that I made it this far with the fitness level I was at, and felt like I could finish the third lap strong. got through the technical rocks here clean, which is great. But it's interesting. I mean, since I didn't have really the leg strength or cardio to go at the speed I wanted, the technical stuff, especially on climbs, it's challenging when you're down in the first gear. You get bashed around side to side a lot more. You can stall out in wheel traps that usually at a higher speed you just kind of coast right over at the high points. So, going slow through tech, it offers some new challenges, and you got to fight a little bit. I know there was one or two times, can't recall if it was this rock garden or a little bit higher up, that the bike stalled on me, and I had to give a little bit of a body push and lunge to get it out of the wheel trap and keep going. But I was very glad to finally get through that section clean on a lap, something that I typically could do without much issue. It was really a struggle for me this day, so felt good to at least turn in one good one. Up near the top of the climb there was a spectator playing Little Naughty by Nature hip hop hooray. So can't really hear it much. Maybe if you turn up volume, you can get it. But I gave the little arm wave side to side as a tribute to him. Get a little kudos from him. So still trying to have fun on what turned out to be, not such a great day on the bike, but trying to enjoy it as I go. this flat area here. I try to get a little bit of a light adjustment after you get past the railroad ties and some of the rough stuff. Wasn't really liking how the light was shining, so I just figured I'd try to raise it up a little bit, even though it was late in the race, just to get a little bit better vision. I brought it up a little bit. It seemed to help a little bit, cast a little further down the trail, tighten it back down, and yeah, keep going from there. So I will probably do some more test runs at night with the super caliber, so I can see if turning the bracket forward so that light sits a little bit lower on the handlebar, get a good angle of the light, because I've ridden at night with these lights a lot, and typically they show they light up the trail a lot better than they did in this video. So get that adjusted right, keep that bracket on, or at least take a picture so I know where I like it, and hopefully future night races or night events I won't be struggling so much with my setup. One final time, if you're enjoying the content, please put a like on the video here. Go ahead and leave a comment and subscribe. You catch up on any of the videos I put out. Do have my bucket list of trying to get to all the Pennsylvania counties. If I have any interesting rides, I'll probably do a video for that. Race season's winding down, so probably won't be doing any more race videos. Actually, Big Elk is today. I'm finishing up the audio here on the 17th of August, and I am at home. Decided not to ride it for some weather challenges with potential rain, and I didn't get to do as much riding and working out as I would like, so I did not feel I could put forth an effort that I'd be happy with, so I decided to just skip. So it was a rough season on the Mid-Atlantic this year. I was hoping to take a step forward. This being my 4th year racing. I did 2 years in Cat 2, came up to Cat 1 by my own choice, wasn't forced. I was a guy near the podium all the time in Cat 2, and just wanted to come up and see how I'd fare. Knew it would be a learning experience, and I was hoping this year it'd take a big step forward. and just ran into a lot of challenges with weather, with my own fitness, and some things that happened this year. But over 4 years, this first year that I had a lot of those challenges, just had them all occur in this 1 year. So it got very frustrating near the end of the season. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next year. I'm hoping that I'll get motivated and be able to get back to the race shape I want. Maybe come to Cat 1 next year with a new level of focus, and take that step forward that I've been waiting for, so I can maybe hang a little bit with some of the guys in the middle of the pack, right around Challenger and some other races this year. I felt like I was getting there, and then got sick and kind of lost a whole bunch in a short period of time. So here, passing another Cat 2 guy that's near the end, almost to the top of the climb here. Sections of the climb I probably wasn't climbing as fast as I was on some of the earlier laps, but since I did not come off the bike for the whole climb, this was my best time to the top of the 3 laps, and I was looking forward to turn in potentially my best lap coming to downhill section, which I was riding not as fast as I could, but certainly pretty clean and pretty confident. So looking forward to turning out and finishing with a good result.
Oh yeah, if you get a chance. I'm no rush. I'm in last place. Thank you, thank you. Have a safe ride.
Coming up on that Cat 2
Yeah,
guy,
I hear you.
pretty quick. He asked me if I wanted to run. Tell him I was in last. I was really in second to last, but just having a pretty good run here on the downhill, feeling pretty good, attacking a little bit more than I had on the other laps. Very confident I was going to be turning in my best lap, so wanted to finish strong, and was coming down hard, and seeing good lines and able to carry some good speed. So there in that last fast section, kind of took my daytime line more to the left through some of the heavier stuff, and probably a mistake. I'm not sure where it happened, but I did get a flat. So coming down through here, I could feel a little bit of sway in the rear tire. Didn't go completely flat, but started the race at about 21 psi in the rear, and I knew prior to the race that the rear tire had a slow leak in it, but it had been holding fine on races. It'd be down like a day or so later, but must have hit a rock in such a way that it just kind of burped out some air. I'm guessing that by the time the race was done, I had maybe 10 to 15 pounds in the rear. So really noticed it here in the serpentines. I could feel and hear the tire rolling on me. So really back it off. I'll do some obvious checks to the rear wheel at the bottom here when I exit, and I know I'm flat, and wasn't sure how flat, but given how close to the end I was, I just figured I'd ride it out, and tried to do so in a fashion where I wasn't going to damage the wheel. I could tell it was still riding pretty well, so it wasn't, pretty sure I wasn't completely flat. Knew there was something in it, but there's a couple of the climbs in the next technical section where it was really rolling up on me and getting me off into the weeds because it just wasn't able to grab at the power. You see there, I was looking back to see, and pretty sure that that I was definitely flat. So try to stay out of the way of people, and announce to several of the riders that catch me in the tech section to just go around because I was flat. They some of them takes them a little bit of time to realize what I'm saying, but yeah. So talking earlier about some of the challenges I've had this season. Here's another. I'm turning in good lap for the day, at least, maybe not a good lap for me, and trying to finish on a positive note on a rough night, and then I end up flattening on the last downhill and have to really limp it in. But let it play out for a little bit here, and we'll see what comments we can add going to the last little bit.
Yeah, I got a flat, so trying to ride it out. Probably shouldn't, but yeah.
Coming down through the bottom here, wasn't sure how well the tire would hold on the rim if I really leaned it on some of them berms and stuff, so I was taking the inside flattest portion of the turns that I could
Good.
when I could.
That's good.
Sometimes
No,
that
I got
rear
a
wheel
flat.
was pushing me up
You're good.
on areas I didn't want
I know. I'm pissed.
because it would
I
be
did it on
rolling
the
and stuff,
downhill.
but trying to just save the rim but still ride it in when I have to walk it out. And it was like I was saying, I could feel that there was air there, but I wasn't
Oh,
sure
you're
if it
right,
was
dude.
still actively losing. Didn't hear any hissing or anything. It was
Did it
definitely
hear?
rolling over on me. And one guy who had just passed me, he wiped out there. Asked him if he needed some help up. He declined. He said he was all right. But tough night for more than just me. I think
I'm flat,
cloud
so
cover
go
for the
around.
potential rain that was coming made it very dark in the woods.
Yeah.
And made
Well,
a challenging ride for a lot of folks.
I got a flat tire, so I'm gonna hold you up. Yeah, go ahead. Yep. All right, come right if you can.
On the right?
Yeah. Yep. You're welcome. Thank you. Nursing in a flat tire. No fun. I was having a good lap too. Go ahead, I got a flat. Yeah, that wipes you out, man.
So the guy who wrecked earlier had caught back up. I asked him if he wanted a round. He declined. He was kind of still recovering from getting up off the ground. It certainly can wipe you out, as we all know. So, we were finishing. You saw a little bit earlier ago. I did roll up into the weeds and stuff because the tire just folded over on me, and I couldn't get any grip. But this is the last significant technical climb on the flat, and then I just have the gravel road. I think I had to dab or push a little bit there to get going, but the tire was still rolling decent. I didn't feel like I was doing any severe damage to the rim, so just wanted to ride it out.
Yep, go get it.
Barely.
So for the Mid-Atlantic Super Series 2024, this ends up being my last race of the year. As I said, Big Elk's going on right now. I had a chance of possibly moving up one spot with a really good finish, but the gentleman that could catch me, I don't think there were enough riders racing for me to have the differential I'd need to have been in front of them. So I'm going to end up finishing probably 8th for the year out of looks like 24 riders that had at least a race in. Probably, I believe I'll be last place of the riders that did get a full 7 in. Did a little poorer than I did previous year. Last year in 23, I think I averaged about 10th place finish overall in races. This year I was 12th and a half. So a little bit poorer of a finish. We'll see Doug here,
Doug.
my buddy. He
Flat
actually
tire, bud. Yep.
he actually ended up winning the night and did take a significant step forward for his season. So kudos to Doug working it, moving towards success here in Cat 1. And I'll see you guys next time, next video. And thanks for watching.
GoPro, stop recording.